Welcome to this week's video. I'm Aaron Ross, and we all know that photography equipment and gear is expensive. But I'm pretty sure I just made the most expensive purchase of my photography career so far. And it's going to be a long time before that's topped. Now, like I said, we all know that photography gear is expensive. It's not a cheap hobby, and when you get one lens, you think you want another lens, and it keeps going. And every year or two, they continue to come out with new camera bodies, and you want to upgrade, and we're trying to decide if that upgrade is worth it or not. And that means more money to spend on those camera bodies, lenses, all of the accessories, lighting, anything that goes with photography or videography. It's just an expensive hobby. But I hear people talk about maybe taking some money out of our gear budget and putting it into our experience budget. Maybe a plane ticket or hotel somewhere where we can make some photos that we would not have been able to make otherwise, tell a cool story, and be inspired. Well, me and my wife just invested in a travel trailer from Airstream that is going to change the game for us in terms of travel, and I think is going to greatly impact my photography. Now, that's obviously not directly camera gear, a little bit of a trickery swapperoo there, but I see it as something that's going to enable so much more photography and allow me to level up my photography in ways that I just couldn't do otherwise. Now, we do normally go on a lot of trips, and nature is really important to us. We go on road trips across the US all the time and visit national parks and state parks and nature preserves and whatever that might be. But this is, again, a whole new level. We've run into different weather issues in the past, and this is going to really allow us to go places that we wouldn't have been able to go otherwise. We're going to be able to have everything contained and not have to worry so much about the resources in an area when we get there. And so a little bit about the Airstream that we decided to go with. It is the Airstream Basecamp 16X. That means it's a 16-foot long Airstream from the hitch to the taillight. It has a kitchen inside. It has a wet bath inside. So we have a shower and toilet, as well as a dining area that converts to a bed. It has solar panels on the top. It is designed to be off the grid, as it has solar panels, a whole battery system, and as well as water on board so that we can continue to survive while we are disconnected for a couple of days. And for me, this is actually bringing back a lot of memories from being a child and honoring my grandfather and some of the legacy that he has provided me in my life, because for him, he had a pop-up camper. Now, it's a little bit different, but it is something that is very ingrained in my memories of camping in Arizona growing up, and something that we would do pretty frequently. And there are all sorts of gorgeous forests up in northern Arizona, and I can tell you that when I think about it, I can still smell the ponderosa pines that are up there right now, even though I live in Chicago now. And so my grandfather, I actually was doing a little bit of research on him because I had some general knowledge of some things that he did when he was younger, and I was definitely not even close to being alive at this point. And I found that he was the president of Arizona Wildlife Federation, which is an organization that works to preserve wildlife and habitats in Arizona so that they are sustainable and they are there long term for us to enjoy. And so it's something that I am proud of him for doing early on. I found some pretty funny photos. I'll show you what he looked like back in the 70s, and also a photo of him in his camper that really shows me who he was and the things that he enjoyed, and just I can see the joy in his face just brushing his teeth in his pop-up camper. And that carried on through generations. Camping was a big part of my childhood with him, but also with my own parents, and going camping and my siblings and everything. So here's a couple of funny photos from me in high school. I get permission from my sister. I'm going to include a couple of photos here of her as well. I have so many great memories of being outdoors and in nature. And so for me, what I'm looking forward to is taking this Airstream Basecamp out into nature, taking my camera along with me, and really stepping up my landscape photography. So that is what you're going to see a little bit more of coming up in the next couple of months. Now, street photography and gear reviews and how I use the iPad is all still going to be part of this channel and what I talk about. Even next week, I'm going to be posting an updated video on my iPad workflow for photographers. A lot has changed since last year when I posted my previous video on that, so make sure and subscribe and hit the bell so that you are notified when that video comes out. I know it's something crazy, like 90% of viewers on this channel are not subscribed, so make sure and change that so you know what is coming. Again, we have trips planned already and we're going to be heading out pretty soon. For both of us, we're going to be vaccinated and be able to be a lot more comfortable traveling. It's not something that we've done at all over the last year, and we're looking forward to getting back out and traveling, especially in a self-contained vehicle that we are able to just, all we have to worry about is grocery shopping and gas, and then we can enjoy the nature of wherever we are at. So we've obviously purchased the Airstream and brought it to my mother-in-law's driveway. She is very generously allowing us to keep it there while we get things set up and comfortable and we figure all of this out, because this is new for us. Although I was a kid and camping in a pop-up, I didn't do any of the work of making sure that thing worked or maintenance or anything, towing it. I was a kid, so I definitely was not involved. But we are going to be documenting a lot of the RV life stuff, or it's kind of van life, it's not really van life, whatever it might be. We're going to be documenting that on a brand new YouTube channel called Rivet and Roll. If you don't know, Airstreams are made with aluminum and they use rivets to keep a lot of it together, so we are calling it Rivet and Roll. Welcome to Rivet and Roll. I'm Aaron.
And I'm Amanda, and this is Carmen. There's Carmen. Hey, Carmen. Woo! Nice and easy, Aaron.
I'm gonna go nice and easy. I'm terrified. It took a couple of attempts and trying to figure out, you know, reverse is kind of all backwards in all senses. It took, I think it was 3 full attempts of pulling out and coming back in and then trying to figure out all the micro adjustments. It was not perfect at all. It is definitely a little crooked in the driveway here, but it works. It is safe and stationary and level. So that is what matters. Well, that's an adventure. I will link that channel up in, I think I can link it up here, and you can go and check that out. Make sure and subscribe there so that you can stay up to date with what we're doing on the RV side of things. Here on this channel, I'm going to keep things pretty photography focused and maybe where we are on our trips and the landscape photography that I'm able to make out on those trips. There'll probably be a little bit of vloggy stuff with the Airstream itself, but again, really staying focused on photography here on this channel. Now, I know that this probably seems a little bit extreme, but this is something that we have talked about for a long time and have decided just to pull the trigger on and move forward with it and really enable us to do a lot. So we're excited for the year to come. A lot of the travel's coming our way. So if you have any questions about the Airstream or maybe what's going to be happening here on this channel, things you would like to see on this channel, questions you have about the Airstream, like I said, or other things like that, let me know down in the comments below. I will try and answer those in the comments or maybe over on a video on the Rivet and Roll channel. But until next time, I'm going to go make some photos and I hope you do too.